It's my pleasure to introduce our featured speakers for the program today, Spokane Valley Mayor Laura Padden and Deputy Mayor Tim Hattenberg.
Thank you, Jesse, and welcome to Spokane Valley, a city that is buzzing with energy and with opportunity. I am excited to share that with you today. As we gather for the 2026 State of the City, we take some time to reflect, to celebrate, and to set our sights boldly on Spokane Valley's future. Thank you for joining us. I am Laura Padden, and I'm honored to be your mayor. Thank you to the Spokane Valley Chamber of Commerce for hosting us today, and to all the sponsors and partners who made this event possible. A special welcome to Jessie Lowry, new president and CEO of Spokane Valley Chamber of Commerce. She brings an impressive background with strong Valley ties, and we look forward to building on our robust partnership with the Chamber and with the business community. Thank you all for being here too. Looking around this room, I see many people who pour so much of themselves into making this city a better place every day. You are champions for Spokane Valley, and it is a privilege to stand alongside of you all. Because of our partnerships, we have achieved so much, and there is so much more ahead. I look forward to sharing these exciting updates with you today. First, I want to recognize the elected officials who advocate for Spokane Valley and our region. We are so fortunate to have strong partners in Washington, D.C. Congressman Michael Baumgartner, Senator Maurice Cantwell, and Senator Patty Murray. We're grateful for your support, which has been instrumental to the city and our largest projects. Thank you to our strong supporters in the Washington State Legislature, Senator Leonard Christian, Representative Suzanne Schmidt, and Representative Rob Chase, who have been, they've been ferocious advocates for the city and for Eastern Washington. Locally, we're grateful for our ongoing dialogue with our partnership with Spokane County Commissioners Al French, Chris Jordan, Mary Brooks, Amber Waldruff, and Josh Kearns, and Spokane County Sheriff John Knowles for providing high-quality police services to the Valley. We're also grateful for our valued partners in neighboring jurisdictions, the Spokane Valley Police Department, Spokane Valley Fire Department, Spokane County Fire District 8, and the many trusted contractors who help us advance city projects and priorities all year long. Please welcome my City Council colleagues, Deputy Mayor Tim Hattenberg, and Council members Ben Wick, Pam Haley, Jessica Yeager, Al Merkel, and Michael Kelly. Thank you for your dedication, whether serving on our regional committees to ensure our voice is at the table, celebrating new businesses as they open their doors, or meeting one-on-one with our constituents so that we can best express those who live, or represent those who live, work, and invest here. Finally, thank you to our dedicated city staff. Every day, you keep our parks beautiful, our streets and communities safe, development moving forward, and our city thriving. I see firsthand your commitment to making Spokane Valley the best it can be. This is a remarkable year. The United States semi-quincentennial, which is kind of a big word, on July 4th, 2026, our nation celebrated its 250th birthday. This year marks 2.5 centuries since a group of extraordinary people signed their names to the Declaration of Independence and changed the course of history. In May, our community gathered at our Veterans Memorial in Balfour Park to mark this milestone. We heard from the incredible U.S. Navy Band Northwest. We honored our founding document by ringing a bell for each of the individual rights: self-government, democracy, rule of law, equality, liberty for all, and freedom. And we paused together to honor the veterans whose sacrifice made all of this possible. That ceremony stayed with me because the principles in that declaration, self-governance and belief that the people closest to the community are best equipped to lead it, to secure their life in liberty and happiness, those are the same principles that brought Spokane Valley into existence in 2003. 23 years ago, the residents of this area looked around and they said, we can do better, and we can do it ourselves. They incorporated this city, wrote their own charter, and set up to prove that lean, responsible, fiscally conservative, and community-centered government works. Today, I want to share with you that the state of the city shows that indeed it does.
Much like our nation's founders in 1776, the people of Spokane Valley came together with a dream to create a city where decisions are made locally and where government truly reflects the values, priorities, and needs of its people. They wanted a community that was responsive, fiscally responsible, and above all, a great place to raise families.
Well, it was an incredible opportunity to be involved in an effort to form a city. So that entailed meeting after meeting after meeting. What was the vision? What kind of city did we want? How did we want to separate our identity, which was very different from Spokane's, to have representation and to have the funds that were generated in the valley stay in the valley.
Our city's commitment to conservative budgeting is clear. Maintain low taxes by keeping our staffing lean, utilizing contract services, securing grants to fund major projects, and aggressively pursuing economic development initiatives. Sports tourism is one example of how our residents enjoy high-quality services without the burden of high taxes.
Tourism is the driving force of so much in a community like Spokane Valley. So you have out-of-town visitors that come stay in a hotel, and when they stay at a hotel, they pay lodging tax, and they pay what's called a tourism promotion area fee. And that turns into a substantial bit of money that we're able then to use to build facilities in Spokane Valley or provide grants to different organizations. And now we have some new facilities that we worked on closely with the city, and that's the cross-country course over off of Flora Road. And then most recently, the ice facility over on Sullivan Road was also supported by the hotel community. That money is less money that we then have to charge residents of the city of Spokane Valley because so much is supported by out-of-town guests that stay in the hotels.
But just as important is our focus on community responsiveness. Whether it's planning for growth, enhancing our transportation networks, or supporting local businesses, we're listening and working collaboratively to shape the future. We see these values in action at community events, in our thriving neighborhoods, and in the partnerships we build with local businesses and organizations.
All of the history in this entire region began out here in the Spokane Valley. There was a very strong sense of the valley is unique. I think opportunity is the patron saint of the valley.
As we celebrate our history and look to the future, Spokane Valley remains a shining example of what can happen when a community holds true to its founding vision, where local voices matter and where the promise of incorporation is honored every single day.
Thank you. The founding principles of our country and city aren't just words from history books. They are the operating philosophy of Spokane Valley right now, today, and the results speak for themselves. Let me share some highlights from this past year. The first is our sports tourism program. Smart, long-term planning delivers big results for all of us. And we have no better example than that of the new cross-country course. The course, Spokane Valley, is unlike anything else in our region. In fact, it's unlike anything else west of the Mississippi. With a soft opening last fall, the course hosted 2 collegiate men's and women's cross-country championships. And now, thanks to our partners at Spokane Sports, we are sprinting full speed ahead with a full calendar of competitions that will bring thousands of new visitors and millions of dollars in economic impact to our community. Think about what that means for the families and businesses here in Spokane Valley. Out-of-town visitors already pay half of the sales tax we collect, helping fund our basic city services. Now, visiting athletes and their families will fill our hotels, dine in our restaurants, and shop in our stores. That means more customers for local businesses and more sales tax revenue flowing right back into our community without raising local taxes. And it also means a top-notch facility for our local athletes. When the course is not hosting a competition, all 46 acres are open as a community park for local schools and everyone to enjoy, whether you're running, walking your dog, or just enjoying the park's tranquility. These are lodging tax, capital funds, paid for by out-of-town visitors and reinvested right back into our community, continuing to boost our local economy. Let's take a look.
The course Spokane Valley is a nature and recreation park with 46 dedicated acres of historic frontier along the Spokane River. It also serves as a premier running venue intended to host competitive cross-country events with distances ranging from 5K to 10K, as well as other sports that fit its unique outdoor setting. The course weaves through grassy meadows, native plants and shrubs, and numerous ponderosa pine, some over 100 years old. The venue is designed to host races for athletes of all ages, from NCAA and USA track and field championship events to local community fun runs. Spectators can cheer athletes from a paved path that interlaces the course at various locations. With the wind at their back and the finish arch in sight, the runner's experience is unlike any other in the western U.S. The course is centrally located in the community of Spokane Valley, home to 16 hotels within 10 minutes of the venue, easy access to the interstate, and free parking. The city offers all kinds of adventures and fun for the whole family, from the best shopping in the region to sports events to locally sourced wineries and breweries, and all types of outdoor recreation. There's much to discover in Spokane Valley. Plan your visit today at discoverthevalley.com.
Last fall, we celebrated the completion of construction. Now we invite you to explore the park and join us along with Spokane Sports for an opening race and community celebration on Saturday, August 15th. Earlier this year, the city finalized a land lease for a new ice sports facility just north of Sullivan Park. We leveraged $2 million of lodging taxes paid for by out-of-town visitors and $1 million of surplus general fund dollars. Together with the incredible generosity of a local donor working with the Inovia Foundation, our community will reap the benefits of a $40+ million ice sports facility by next year. Yeah, that's right. This project is a perfect example of a smart fiscal governance, and it's because with only a small investment from the city, we will soon have the ability to host youth hockey, figure skating, and other competitive events. This will bring an entirely new stream of regional and national visitors to Spokane Valley, and another boost to our tax base that benefits every resident and business. The financial impact is enormous, but so are the benefits to our local families and youth. This new facility will add more access to much-needed ice time and programs for our kids. This will create opportunities that make children healthier and more active and help them learn about hard work, leadership, and teamwork, the same values that make our community strong. Sports tourism is not the only effort to increase our sales tax dollars and keep taxes low for our residents. Through retail recruitment efforts last year, we welcomed Dave & Buster's, Five Below, Sierra, and Crumble Cookie, to name a few. And I know many of you are excited about the upcoming Trader Joe's and World Market. The auto industry is another opportunity. It is the city's largest contributor of sales tax, accounting for 14% of all retail sales tax the city receives to its general fund. Recently, we were excited to welcome Land Rover, who relocated to Auto Row from Spokane. Marketing campaigns like Shop the Valley and our Discover the Valley tourism brand also bring overnight guests who stay in our hotels and spend their money at retailers, restaurants, and services. We continue to strive to keep Spokane Valley as one of the most business-friendly cities in Washington State. And that is a challenge in Washington State. We don't obstruct, we partner and find solutions. Our economy continues to grow because of it, with new businesses and thousands of square feet of new industrial and commercial property coming online. The development and expansion of the manufacturing industry is strong in this city, as companies such as Kaiser Aluminum, Solstice Advanced Materials, AMI, Metals, Mercer Timber, and Wagstaff continue to thrive and grow. We're creating good jobs close to home. That is what economic development looks like when it works, and it is working here. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Deputy Mayor Tim Hattenberg for the next segment.
It's great to see so many people here, a lot of familiar, friendly faces and new faces. I've lived in the Valley my entire life, and to see the growth has just been fun to be part of that and all the positive things going on. We are one of the fastest growing cities in the state of Washington, over 50,000 in population. The story of America in Spokane Valley has always been about a story about people with principles. People show up, get involved, and build something worth being proud of. Last year, we kicked off our comprehensive plan update, Valley 2046, a once-in-a-decade blueprint to guide how our city grows, where we invest, and what kind of community we want to become over the next 20 years. At the same time, we have been working on an update to the Parks and Recreation Master Plan, establishing goals and objectives to guide Spokane Valley's park system over the next 10 years. Throughout the process, you've brought your ideas to City Council and planning commissioners through community meetings such as surveys, emails, and countless conversations. Your voices, your participation are what shape our future. Unfortunately, the comp plan process comes with challenges, as Washington State has introduced several new mandates that require us to accommodate higher density and different types of housing in areas that have been traditionally single-family neighborhoods. While we remain committed to our shared vision for Spokane Valley, we must adopt to these state requirements. In the draft plan, that means allowing more diverse housing throughout our neighborhoods and increasing density along the Spokane Avenue corridor. As we finalize these draft plans, the community will have more opportunities to make their voices heard through the adoption process. and I hope you'll get involved by attending, sharing your input, and staying engaged. Our future is bright, and your voice matters, as the choices we make together today will shape our city for generations to come. The success of much of what we talk about today would not have happened without strong partnerships and support at the state, federal, and federal levels. Advocacy is critical to return your tax dollars to the city. Council members have been busy advocating for our city priorities in Olympia and in Washington, D.C. You can just look at the numbers to see that our aggressive legislative advocacy is working. Today we'll share many successes with grants to bring your tax dollars back to Spokane Valley. In total, over the last decade, we've applied for and been awarded an incredible $177 million in state and federal grants, leveraging our money to create award-winning infrastructure to improve our economy and daily lives. Through this year's state legislature 60-day short session and federal advocacy, we focused efforts on public safety, housing, transportation, economic development, and representing the priorities of Spokane Valley. Council members and city staff engaged in over 100 bills that support our community's goals. Last year, we requested and received over $250,000 in capital funds for lighting and a sound system at Balfour Park to support community gatherings. We advocated for future transportation funding opportunities for the Barker Road, I-90, and Sullivan Trent interchange. We successfully worked with local partners to secure $1 million for the ongoing operations of the Spokane Regional Transportation Management Center. As we celebrate America's 250th birthday and honor our nation's founding principles and aspirations, we reflect on our own city's original version of that responsibility. 23 years in, we're proud to have maintained the fiscal discipline that has defined the city from day one. This year, we delivered another balanced city budget, but doing so required hard choices, prioritizing the services that matter most, controlling the growth of city programs, sustaining one of the smallest staff per capita in the state, and finding efficiencies where we could to maintain our low taxes and bringing services you want and that you deserve. Our commitment continues to be recognized with clean audits and an AA1 bond rating, a clear testament to our city's financial strength and policies. Property tax and sales tax make up over 80% of the city's general fund, which is used to pay for city services. While we are beginning to see an upward trend in sales tax revenues, the city receives less than 1 cent of every sales dollar collected and just 8 cents of every property tax dollar. Even so, your city council has continued to reject the annual state 1% property tax increase, upholding our conservative fiscal approach. We were able to do this by focusing on economic development and growing revenue by attracting new businesses and more customers. Now, as we prepare our 2027 budget, we continue to work on managing the escalating costs of law enforcement. We will continue to work creatively to maximize how your dollars are being spent while ensuring you continue to receive the highest quality law enforcement services. While we can't control what the state and others do, we will continue to use discipline and creativity to stretch every dollar, keep our taxes low, and deliver results for our community. Now, here's where challenge meets opportunity. Last year, the voters of Spokane Valley approved a 1/10 of 1% sales tax increase, dedicated entirely to public safety. That is 1 cent on a $10 purchase. It was a clear statement from this community: public safety is your #1 priority, and you are willing to invest in it. We heard you, and we've acted. Our police department has hired 11 new police officers in 2026, thanks to the 58% of property owners who supported the public safety ballot measure. That's a total of 21 additional new dedicated commissioned officers over the last 2 years. As our city grows, demand grows with it. The Spokane Valley Police Department responds to approximately 50,000 service calls a year. We deeply appreciate the dedication, courage, and professionalism of the men and women who protect us each and every day. I'd also like to recognize and thank Police Chief Dave Ellis for our ongoing partnership and leadership in keeping our community safe. You can meet our officers and view police demonstrations at the second annual Cops and Kids Car Show on Saturday, August 29th at Balfour Park and Sprague Avenue. The city's law enforcement contract is up for renewal next year. Your council is committed to continue to provide high quality, highly effective police services in a fiscally responsible manner. To ensure we are doing our due diligence as we review the contract, the council asks staff to concurrently look at other options to ensure you receive the highest level of services at the best value. We promise to keep you informed and seek your input along the way. Public safety is this council's #1 priority. The voters made them heard, and it's also their #1 priority, and together we are building a safer Spokane Valley for everyone. Now, none of this what we've talked about happens without the infrastructure that moves people and freight, connects neighborhoods, and makes land accessible for development. America understood this from the very beginning. The founding fathers and those who followed knew that roads, bridges, railroads, and waterways were not about convenience. They were the foundation of a prosperous economy. We are continuing to build on that foundation with some exciting new developments underway. And we are being thoughtful about every single tax dollar along the way. Let me show you what that looks like.
From the earliest days of Spokane Valley, infrastructure has powered progress. Just as America grew by connecting towns with railroads and highways, Spokane Valley has transformed through smart investments in transportation.
Well, in 1998, there was really nothing along Interstate 90. So the Hanson family purchased the land along Interstate 90 from the railroad. What Raymond did was put in the road and the infrastructure, what we know today as Indiana Avenue. They understood that a vibrant business community would generate tax dollars. It would help generate infrastructure. And as a result, that money then could be put back into the city for use for other opportunities for the residents.
Since our founding, every road, bridge, grade separation project, sidewalk, and bike lane has made our city more connected and prosperous. Today, our transportation system is a network built for families, workers, businesses, and first responders. Whether you're driving, walking, or cycling,
infrastructure really equals prosperity in a community. The infrastructure is what we use every morning to get to work. It's how our freight comes into our grocery stores and our commercial and industrial areas. So without good infrastructure, our prosperity as a community suffers. For decades, the region's been working on something called Bridging the Valley, and Spokane Valley recently has had 2 projects, one under construction and one completed, that support that vision. The first one being the Barker Grade Separation Project that was completed a few years ago, and right now underway the Pines Grade Separation Project at the intersection of Highway 27 and Trent. So we're trying to separate the conflict points of rail traffic and vehicle traffic so travelers don't have delay. The trains also don't have to worry about pedestrians or vehicles. This enhances freight mobility, saves time, and increases safety and reliability for emergency response. The next project looking forward is the Sullivan and Trent interchange, where we have a capacity problem.
with each improvement, we've shortened commutes, improved safety, and helped local businesses thrive. Our story echoes America's own, building connections that fuel opportunity and growth.
Infrastructure is super important to the business that we do here in Spokane Valley. Solstice Advanced Materials has a vast portfolio of products that enhance technology and enhance people's lives. Solstice has approved a $200 million expansion here in Spokane Valley. We've got to ship product as quickly as possible, so we need reliable transportation. And to create that product, we need our employees to be able to get to work on time and safely. We're excited to see the largest investment in Spokane Valley history to make things flow better.
Infrastructure is about more than roads. It's about building a stronger, safer, and more vibrant future for Spokane Valley.
The residents of the valley value their tax dollars being used locally. They also value the relative convenience of commuting around the valley and the relative lack of congestion and traffic. What it offers us as a family in the business community and the recreational community is unmatched. We look forward to working with this city and being part of this wonderful community for many more years.
The city has been executing the regional Bridge in the Valley plan for many years, which is about connecting our community once divided by railways. The Barker Road BNSF grade separation is done. Commutes are shorter. Emergency vehicles move faster. Freight flows without interruption. As you saw, the next phase of that project, the Pines Road BNSF grade separation project, is underway. At $48 million, it is the single largest project in our city's history. But what's so amazing about this project is that $43 million of that came from federal and state grants. That means that the largest single project in our city's history was funded at 85% grants. This is a huge project to improve transportation, safety, and commerce, and we would not have been able to do so at such a low cost for a city without the support from our state and federal delegation. When the project is completed early next year, it will save up to 4 hours of vehicle wait time at that crossing every single day, unlock nearly 226 acres of land for new development, increase safety for all travelers, and add a new Centennial trailhead. I'd like to thank BNSF Railway for their partnership and their innovation on this project, which has saved time and money. For example, to separate the railroad from vehicle traffic, BNSF built bridges to carry the trains over the new roadway. In a feat I still can't quite wrap my head around, the BNSF constructed a train bridge over the future roadway within 24 hours and opened it to live train traffic within the allocated 30-hour window. That was incredible. I don't know about you, but I've never heard of such a complex construction project taking only a day to complete, while still adhering to the highest safety standards. I know when people in the community, when they asked how long that's going to take, they said probably about 30 hours. Yeah, no, you mean, no way. This efficient construction not only trimmed time off the project schedule, but also saved over $2 million in the budget. Another win involved the massive excavation of materials. It's costly and time-consuming to remove soil, and again, BNSF stepped up to the challenge with this, using train cars to transport tons of soil away from the project, eliminating trucks on our roadways, and again, creating project efficiencies and cost savings. The double win of BNSF's effort is that they brought the excavated soil to where new soil is needed at the Sullivan Road and Trent Avenue interchange, which will require a lot of fill dirt very soon. The next large endeavor will replace both Sullivan Road bridges over the BNSF railway tracks and 4 lanes of Trent Avenue with 2 new roundabouts. This will reduce congestion in the freight, for families, and for workers who depend on this corridor every day, as it is home to 9,000 jobs, which are 85% related to freight. Mayor Padden will share some more recent success stories with you. Thank you.
Thank you. We recently celebrated the news of yet another large federal grant. The city applied for and has been awarded a $21 million US DOT build grant. This is truly amazing, as it comes on the heels of 2 previous large federal grants totaling over $50 million in federal dollars that could have otherwise gone to communities in other parts of the nation. This money will go to Sullivan Trent project, and it is gaining a great deal of momentum. And it is now, we have now secured about $41 million of the just over $50 million budget needed to be fully funded. Outside of these major projects, the city continues to invest in the corridors that carry our daily lives. We're repairing and repaving arterials for vehicles, adding crosswalks, adding sidewalks and bike lanes for pedestrians and cyclists, improving traffic flow with new roundabouts, and protecting our water supply through stormwater improvements. Our efforts don't stop at transportation. We are creating vibrant outdoor spaces where people can enjoy nature, stay active, and connect with neighbors. And we're doing it through leveraging our local tax dollars with grants, just like with the course. Last year's $2 million expansion of Green Acres Park was 75% funded by state and federal grants. And next month, we'll open new pickleball and basketball courts at Balfour Park, with a splash pad and playground equipment coming next summer. In total, Balfour Park improvements have been made possible with nearly $3.5 million in grant awards. This is infrastructure done right, unlocking development, creating jobs, establishing places where people can want to live and play, and saving hours for every family and business when they're on the road. This will be felt here for generations. Let me finish with a final reflection. 250 years ago, a group of remarkable people chose self-governance and built a nation that changed the world. 23 years ago, the people of this community made a similar choice. They said, "We know who we are, we know what we value, and we are going to build a city that reflects that."
The city of Spokane Valley, where community isn't just a word, it's the heartbeat of our city. Whether you're just starting out, raising a family, or relaxing in retirement, Spokane Valley is shaped by the people who call it home. From the excitement at our community events to laughter throughout the parks, support of local businesses, and quiet reflection, our city is alive with moments that bring us together. We've invested in the things that matter: safe neighborhoods, connected infrastructure, quality jobs, public safety, and incredible outdoor spaces. And we've made these strides side by side, with your ideas and your participation leading the way. It's your feedback and input that has guided our City Council's decision-making to ensure a place where people thrive and businesses prosper. As America celebrates its 250th birthday, there's no better time to reflect on what makes Spokane Valley so special. Our spirit of collaboration, our pride in community, and our commitment to shaping a brighter future together are all part of the American story. So, get out, get involved, and take pride in Spokane Valley, where every day we build something extraordinary together. Here's to our community, to our future, and to America 250.
Look what we have all built together: the parks where our kids play, the roads that carry our families to work, the businesses that provide services and good jobs, our emergency responders who keep us safe, and the community that shows up for each other. I am deeply proud of this city. I am honored to work alongside of you, and I cannot wait for what comes next. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your partnership. And thank you for loving Spokane Valley as much as we all do. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mayor Padden and Deputy Mayor Hattenberg. As we close today, I'd like to thank you again to our presenting sponsors, Numeric Credit Union, and to our underwriting sponsors, Kohl's Real Estate, Kaiser Aluminum Washington, Modern Electric Water Company, and WM, and of course, our table sponsors shown here. At the Chamber, we often say that our greatest asset isn't a building or a program, it's the relationships that connect this community. Looking around this room today, that's exactly what I see. Thank you so much for being a part of those relationships and investing into the future of Spokane Valley. Lastly, a very special thanks to both the team at the Valley Chamber that supported me so well this last couple of months, and the team at Spokane Valley City Hall for the hard work that they put in to make this event possible. This truly doesn't happen without their professional dedication. This concludes today's program, and thank you again for joining us.